To our top story, taking a closer look into the shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner and the questions being raised about security for that event. Joining us now, we have Professor Josh Ederheimer, an associate professor with the University of Virginia's Center for Public Safety and Justice. And just to give you a little bit of a biography on him, he's previously spent 23 years with the Metropolitan Police Department, followed by positions with Homeland Security and the Justice Department. Professor Ederheimer, thank you so much for joining us today.
Glad to be here.
All right, so let's start with this investigation. A lot on the plates of, Secret Service and these other law enforcement agencies that are helping. We're already learning a lot about the suspect's background. What additional kind of information are authorities looking for here to piece together this puzzle?
Well, one thing to note is how fast information is being gathered. I mean, information about the suspect's background, it was almost immediate. As soon as the incident happened, information started coming in. What investigators are doing are a deep forensic dive into this suspect's life. So everything you can think about online that he's ever done, anything to writings, any indication of his mental state, his travel to Washington. We already know about his train tickets. They're looking for videos. They're already interviewing friends, family, neighbors, co-workers, all with the goal of trying to figure out, did he do this himself? Was he helped? Or what motivated him to do this? And I think one key question that they're looking for also is that were anything's happening in his life recently that was affected by a new administration policy that really put him over the edge.
Mm-hmm. Well, there have also been questions about the security for this event. And from your experience and what you've seen about this case so far, what's your take? Did there seem to be a lapse? Was everything done properly and this was just, an unfortunate tragedy? Like what are your eyes seeing from this?
Well, I mean, we had the entire top level of the United States government in one place. The president, the vice president, the Speaker of the House, the Attorney General, the FBI director. But, we had the line of succession in one room. I don't think it's lost on anybody that the entire Iranian government was eliminated because they were all together in one place. So I think the stakes are very high. Security did work. I mean, technically it did work. Their multi-layered approach stopped anyone from getting killed. So I think that their perimeters worked. My questions go back to pre-planning. There's going to be a deep hot wash. The White House is already pushing this, but the Department of Homeland Security will be leading it. How did someone make a reservation, get into a facility with guns and knives or I'll say with weapons, and he wasn't detected? Essentially, the suspect, on a very basic level, was able to defeat the initial perimeter of the building. And I think that's a real learning moment for the Secret Service and for all law enforcement. I'm going to connect it to what happened in Pennsylvania, in Butler, Pennsylvania. The same type of thing. That was a learning moment to leave a building that was not covered, and someone took advantage of that, a sniper, and shot the president. So I think there's a lot of questions about this security. It worked, but I'm sure police commanders and Secret Service executives, they're all trying to make sure this does not happen again.
I mean, you've been involved in security planning for President Obama's inaugural events, and now this shooting is being used to kind of advance the president's want and proposal for his ballroom, which would be on site of the White House. What goes into planning security for a president when he's at an event that's outside of the White House?
Well, I think it's a dual answer. In the Washington, D.C. area, businesses, hotels, museums, halls like Constitution Hall, they all have a lot of experience with having the president or vice president and high-level dignitaries. So I think it's a little different in Washington. At the Washington Hilton, they have a special garage, special waiting areas that they built for the president and dignitaries. Their private security force at the Hilton are made up of former law enforcement, and they're pretty sophisticated. So I think that in Washington, you'll see this experience with dignitary protection and security, it's it's a little bit smoother. And even though here I am talking about an assassination attempt, around the country and the world, it is very complex. And I think the two lessons from Butler and from the correspondence dinner is that you just can't be lax and you can't take anything for granted. And in today's day and age, we're going to have to ask those questions and make people a little more uncomfortable and in higher levels of security. I'm talking about the public getting into venues where the president and others will be speaking.
And earlier today, House Speaker Mike Johnson told the Secret Service to, quote, tighten up when it comes to protecting the president. Clearly, we know that there have been several attempts on the president's life. Clearly Butler did not go well because the president was hit. That is a major, breach of trust, a major security issue. But in these other ones, he has been saved, or they haven't been able to get through the layers of security. What other ways are there to, quote unquote, tighten up?
Well, I think what you've seen with the Secret Service at the time of an attack, of an incident, wow, they are literally ready to give their own lives to protect the president or the vice president. And they've acted heroically. My real questions would be, what's going on prior to that incident? What's the planning? What's the background? I can tell you in the past in Washington, if an event was at a hotel, we wouldn't be checking every single guest in a hotel and who they are and cross-referencing them. I'm sure there's privacy issues related to that. That's going to be on the table, and that's going to affect businesses. Terrorists, murderers, they're very unpredictable and creative. So I think the Secret Service and the law enforcement dignitary protection world need to think creatively and maybe take steps that might seem onerous. But I think while a country's at war with a president who's now had 3 assassination attempts, going to have to probably be a little more aggressive in protection.
And last question for you, Professor Ederheimer. One of the things I noticed in the video when they were getting all of the dignitaries out, it was very easy to see Vice President Vance able to run. I believe the president hit the floor, but it looked like they had some trouble getting him out. Is there any plans or things to do for people who may not be as mobile, even for like Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, who is pregnant, to get her out? Are they thinking about these types of things in such like a very crowded space, which is kind of hard to get in and out of?
That's a very astute question. I'm impressed that you asked that. So each protectee has a team. So the reason why it was like a little different for each is because the vice president has a team that specifically is focused on protecting him, and they were at him right away. I think because there was the president and the first lady, that particular team had 2 people they needed to cover quickly, and they did. They covered with their bodies, and you saw a tactical team come out behind them. But the key point is that the Secret Service is focused on dignitary protection, not the greater protection of everybody in that room. That really falls on hotel security and local police, or also even say private security, hotel security, and local police. So it is different. So there are different teams protecting different people. They're all coordinated, as you saw, but they're focused on their own protectee.
Well, Professor Ederheimer, thank you so much for your time and really giving us some clarity about the event that we saw on Saturday. Again, thank you. Your expertise is very much appreciated.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
No problem. All right.